What would you like your epitaph to read? How about, here lies the blue buffoon?
I am the darkest of days. I'm the last one that's standing. Don't try to stand in my way, 'cause I've been up against bad.
He's the master illusionist, and by far one of Sonic's most powerful enemies. It's Infinite from the Sonic series. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Infinite, he made his first appearance in the game Sonic Forces, which originally released on PC in 2017. Despite that, we didn't exactly to get to know much about Infinite throughout the course of the story. Even with the prequel DLC, not much was known about Infinite's origins. For whatever reason, Infinite's backstory was revealed in a series of comic books that came out shortly after Sonic Forces released. In the comics, Infinite was originally the leader of a group of assassins who were planning to infiltrate Dr. Eggman's lair so that they could have a nearly endless supply of robots to do their bidding. But when Infinite managed to get inside the lair, he discovered a powerful ruby capable of fusing virtual reality with the real world. The Phantom Ruby. After Dr. Eggman realized that Infinite and his crew were plotting to overthrow his lair, he tricked them into working for him so that he could finish working on the Phantom Ruby without anyone trying to steal it. However, this immediately backfired when Shadow heard that Eggman was inventing something sinister. On his way to infiltrate Eggman's lair, he wiped out all of Infinite's teammates and came face to face against Infinite himself. Unsurprisingly, Shadow roundhouse kicked Infinite in the face and called him weak and pathetic. Unbeknownst to Shadow, this caused Infinite to become obsessed with defeating anyone who called him weak, and used the Phantom Ruby to give him incredibly strong powers. Okay, I'm sorry, but that is a terrible motivation for a cool villain. Most powerful villains have very good motivations, but getting kicked in the face and being called pathetic just makes for a really lame motivation. Despite that, Infinite is incredibly strong, being able to trap Shadow in a sort of virtual reality simulation inside of his own head, and even capable of defeating Sonic almost instantly by using illusions of his past to his advantage. And today, Infinite will go up against the Blue Blur for round 2 on the Super Smash Bros. Roster. So starting off, Infinite will be an above average lightweight character. He'd have 2 jumps, and would be able to both wall jump and glide. But now, let's dive into his costume. For Infinite's default appearance, he'll be in his iconic black and red attire. For the next 5 alts, these will have the Phantom Ruby and Infinite's eye color change into different colors that represent the various Chaos Emeralds, which have been yellow, green, light blue, blue, and white. For the 6th alt, Infinite wears a purple mage robe, which represents a costume that he can unlock in the mobile version of Sonic Forces. And the final alt will have Infinite and his bounty hunter getup from the prequel comics of Sonic Forces. Also completely unrelated, but why didn't Infinite show his face in episode Shadow? I mean, what's the point of hiding his face before he becomes Infinite? Anyways, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the moveset. Now, just like I mentioned in my Silver moveset video, making a moveset for Infinite was actually pretty challenging. And that's just because he's only made a single appearance in the entirety of the Sonic series, not including the mobile version of Sonic Forces, just to clarify. So a lot of this moveset will be innovative and be based on him using virtual reality to his advantage. However, there are also going to be few moves that don't involve virtual reality at all, like his jab for instance. His jab will have him swing a red sword 3 times. The sword is a nod to Infinite's weapon he had in the comics before attaining the Phantom Ruby. For the dash attack, Infinite lunges head first and spins multiple times, dealing multiple hits of damage until the final hit. For the side tilt, Infinite swings his sword horizontally forwards. It's a pretty quick sword attack compared to most side tilts, but it isn't all that strong. This can also be slightly aimed up or down. For the down tilt, it'll be a parallel towards Sonic's down tilt, where Infinite will perform a crouching kick downwards. The big difference compared to Sonic's is that this one is slightly stronger. For the up tilt, Infinite swings his sword upwards. It's a pretty quick attack, but it doesn't launch foes all that far. Now for the forward smash, Infinite will shoot out a huge laser beam forwards. Not only is this an incredibly strong smash attack, but it also has a very long hitbox. so this move can travel a pretty far distance. Unfortunately, there's a lot of start lag and a lot of end lag once the attack ends. It also does count as a projectile, so beware of using this move against foes with reflectors. For the down smash, Infinite will create a small explosion slightly in front of himself. The explosion doesn't launch foes all that far, but it does deal a large amount of damage compared to most down smash attacks. For the up smash, Infinite will summon 2 red virtual reality lines and make them rise high into the air on opposite sides of himself. It's a surprisingly large smash attack, but that also means that there's a lot of start lag and a lot of end lag. For the neutral air, Infinite will make a bunch of virtual motobugs spin around himself multiple times, dealing multiple hits of damage until the final hit. This references one of Infinite's attacks in his final boss fight. For the forward and back air, Infinite will swing his red sword into either of those directions. For the down air, there's yet another attack that mimics one of Sonic's attacks, where Infinite will plummet down to the ground at high speed. This air attack is surprisingly strong, as it has the ability to spike anyone who happened to get hit by Infinite's foot. But unsurprisingly, if this move is used at the edge of the stage, then Infinite will more likely lose a stock. That'll teach the weakling.
Take this!
No, I didn't mean it! No. And finally, for the up air, Infinite will flash some of his virtual cubes upwards multiple times, dealing multiple hits of damage until the final hit. But where Infinite forces a fight is with his special attacks. For Infinite's neutral special, Infinite will shoot a virtual stream forwards as a small projectile. This virtual stream is a very slow moving projectile that automatically homes in on the nearest opponent, meaning that the stream will always travel to where the opponent is, even if the opponent moves. Despite sounding like a cool special, its main flaw is that it only remains on screen for about 5 seconds or until it hits something. So there's a pretty good chance that if you're playing on a large stage, the opponent might not be hit by this move. Not only that, but it does count as a projectile, so be wary of using this move against foes with reflectors. Now for Infinite's side special, Infinite will hit the opponents with a wave of virtual reality. And I mean that quite literally, as he'll be using a skill he picked up from the mobile version of Sonic Forces. This side special mechanically behaves like Cloud's neutral special, but there is one key difference. Unlike Cloud's, where the wave just deals damage, this wave will give the player a random effect that lasts for 8 seconds, like reverse controls, poison, or even a flower effect. The downside with this move is that it can't be spammed, so keep that in mind. Now for Infinite's down special, Infinite will use the Phantom Ruby's power to summon a virtual version of himself. This down special acts a bit like how Ditto works in Smash, where this virtual clone will go about on its own for about 10 seconds and randomly attacking players. However, the big difference is that there's a 15-second cooldown once the virtual clone disappears, so keep that in mind. And finally, for the up special, it'll just be a simple teleporting move where Infinite disappears behind a red virtual cloud and reappears in another virtual cloud above the spot he used the up special at. Once he reappears, he immediately goes into freefall and can't use any of his other attacks unless he gets attacked or lands back onto the stage, whichever happens first. And now, for the final smash. Infinite's final smash will be Null Space. This will be a cinematic final smash where Infinite uses the Phantom Ruby to create a black hole that sucks up anyone too close. Anyone that happens to be too close to the black hole will be pulled into a cinematic. The cinematic starts with the players landing in the middle of Null Space, while Infinite uses the Phantom Ruby to its maximum power, which causes the opponents to get hit left and right by virtual clones of Shadow, Zavok, Metal Sonic, and Chaos. Then, after about 5 seconds of this madness, Infinite uses the Phantom Ruby to make a virtual sun that comes crashing down to the players, ending the final smash. This final smash references a dimension that the Phantom Ruby made, and also the big climax towards the end of the game. The stage of choice is Metropolitan Highway from Sonic Forces. This stage's layout is reminiscent of the Skyloft stage in Smash, where the stage occasionally moves from one place to another. Periodically, the stage will become infected by the Phantom Ruby's power and will cause various illusions to appear. These illusions have the ability to affect the stage by shooting missiles, destroying a small section of the stage, or even temporarily flipping the screen upside down. In the background, you can see a bunch of skyscrapers and a bunch of robots trying to destroy the city. despite what some people might think, I'm mostly going with songs that are closely connected to Infinite's locations.
When everything you know has come and collision is dying, rising high, only scars remain all through. We're finding the ashes to the sun, and there's no one left to carry. This is an illusion. Open up your eyes. This pain persists. I can't resist, but that's what it takes to be infinite.
In total, 7 songs would be included, one of which would be remixed.
Take this!
And that would be if Infinite joined Super Smash Bros. Even though I thought Infinite was a mediocrely written character, I absolutely loved the idea of a villain like Infinite. I mean, having the ability to merge virtual reality into reality is such a unique idea that I don't think many other villains have. But just like the entirety of Sonic Forces, Infinite had potential but was ruined by poor writing. Oh well, let's just hope Sega learned their lesson with Sonic Forces and decides not to make poor writing decisions for their next major villain. Anyways, do you have a character you'd like to see be given a Smash moveset? If so, let me know in the comments down below. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe? That way you can get notified when I put out any Super Smash Bros. Moveset videos. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.